Good day and welcome to episode 30 of the Seablock. Today are big things happening. I'm going to finally find access to the electronic circuits. I'm pretty sure I'll do. And apart from that, I made a little bit of something in between, and that's this little beauty here. There has been a little bit of a talking that I'll be able to produce wood and charcoal a lot easier in the near future. But I felt like I don't want to be, I don't want to run a single time over to my generators here anymore to grab the charcoal. I don't want to. Besides that, I need charcoal for a lot of different processes in that area here. So I felt like it was worth that little effort. I still didn't find the power to salvage this whole big thing here. So I'm going to wait until I get there. It's just a big pile of algae farms until then. So next step is going to be the electronic circuit, because without electronic circuits there's really pretty much nothing going on here. And after that I'm going to put these electrolyzers to a new use, which means I'm going to renovate my whole metal production chain, in the means that I'm going to switch over to sludge all the way. So, but we're far away from that. That was the planning phase. So next up I'm going to need carbon, and that's pretty easily done since I'm having now all the stuff I need in the vicinity over there. I'm just going to produce that stuff over here. There we go. Yep, there's a hole. Can't allow that. So we're needing steam and charcoal. That's a pretty unusual recipe for me, but okay. So I'm going to split that off here. I'm buffering this stuff a little bit because I don't know if I won't need a lot more of those in the future. So there goes this. I don't have a liquefier right now, do I? No. Let's build one. And then I'll need a boiler. I have way more pumps than I use actually water, but it's the pumps are, there's water everywhere available, so I'm not really used to that, to be quite honest, because most of the time when I played Factorio, it's you have to take care that you build close to water, I mean, in some way, or have to take care where's your water source and stuff. It's a pretty normal thing for me. Seablock changed that a little bit, so I keep spamming those turbines like crazy. Of course, this needs not water, it needs steam. Silly me. Okay. This also needs a fuel source, doesn't it? Well, okay. Then I'm going to make it like that. I feel like that's the simplest way to do it. I'm pretty sure that I'll need way larger amounts of carbon in the future, but until then I'm going to stick with this singular plant. There we go. What's that? Okay, now I have all the pieces almost together. I'll need the electronic components done somewhere, and yeah. So the production area will be living somewhere around here. So I could just let that stuff live over here. It would seem the pretty easy way to do that. Okay. So I'll need 2 assemblers, which will do electronic components for me. So it's going to be something like this. There's going to be the carbon input. Oh, that's the wrong. Huh, that's wishful thinking. We're not there yet. Alright. So I'll need solder and electronic components as well. Okay. So that means I'll have to transport these things somehow. I'm pretty tempted to just merge them. I mean, in the end, or no, there's no merging. Just slipped into the wrong line there. Forget what I said. So there goes the copper wire. Going to head over something like this. There we go. This way I can just merge these conveniently. Oh no, it's not as convenient as I thought. Thought it would. It had connected. Must have looked wrong there. Okay, well, now we're reaching the convenience state. All right. Then I'm going to need the solder as well. Let's do it like that. So I want to get out of this clutch here as quick as possible. These things here are a little bit too dense. Alright. So I have no clue where I will patch up these things yet. So here goes my production chain for this stuff. Why are they not producing anymore? Because everything is full, I guess. So this is one input line I'll need for sure. There's no more splitter necessary here. That's a thing of the past. So this is where everything, where the things are happening. So I don't want to have the solder on a too long belt, so that means we're going to fix up the electronic circuits somewhere over there. So I'm going to put them into this direction. So there we go. Alright, so the solder and the basic circuit boards could basically live on the same belts, because they are needed in the same amounts. The electronic components, they need a own belt here for sure. So we can actually do something like this. Why not a little merger? Boom. So this will bring all the ingredients we need together. Since I'm not sure if I'm not going to need these boards for something else, I'm going to output them in between. Let's see, is the inserter amount okay? Not at all. We're going to need a lot of input here. So wait a sec. got it all wrong here. Noticed it way too late. That's what we're going to produce here. That's why it looked all wrong. Was still wishful thinking, you see. So we're going to need this, and they're going to produce that. And with a combination of these 3 belts, we're going to get there. Okay. Man, that's pretty confusing. Okay, but now it seems to be just right. Let's power it up. Let's power it up. Okay, so this will go into a full belt. That means I'm going to give myself a little balancer here, because I want to make sure everything goes right. So that's that. And we're going to... all that business just to get one of those machines going. It's insane, I think. So... I mean, that would be quite easy, wouldn't it? If I could go something like this. But this would require the merging a while earlier. Like, oops. At this spot, they need to be merged already, so I'm going to do it a little bit differently here. Somehow my controls are not behaving like I'm used to. So there we go. Now then, we're going to need 1 inserter for each material here, so that's 2 of them here and 3 of them there. And that all leads to the output of 0.6 of these things per second. Sounds so puny. It's because it is puny. Okay. But we're almost there. Let's get those boys down here. I'll connect this up already because there's no reason to delay this. Or no, we're going to produce 0.5 per second. Sorry. I was over exaggerating. So I'm going to take this belt here and I'm just going to merge that. And then finally the big triumph is there, friends. We're having a working facility which produces stuff you normally produce during your first 2 hours of playing Factorio. Cheers. I feel big now. So let's check out the amount of inserters. What? This thing needs 3.6 inserters? Goodness. So luckily I can just steal a few of these fast inserters, because I kind of like illegally acquired a few of those by the mumbo jumbo with the overhauls. I didn't know that I had to enable them when I started the mod pack, but let's see. Story of 2 episodes ago. There we go. Green circuits. Amazing. It's episode 30. We're finally having them. Okay, let's pack them tightly on that belt, and I'm going to chest them for now because I feel like I want to have, at first, the first things I want to have are a few of these electrochemics labs, because I feel like it's so time to do that. So we're going to need a little bit of steel, and we're going to need filter inserters. And there goes. I already thought that I'd need the other boards as well. So we're going to need a few of those little boards here too. And then I'm going to grab myself some iron and produce some steel, and then we're going to get there. So I have the parts for 2 labs already. So we're going to need 2 electromagnetism labs. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to need the red labs for the red signs and the green labs for the green signs. According to the citizen I experienced so far of the mod creator, I assume I need both. Okay, so I can close this pin here, and it's time to grab a few iron plates. Oh, that feels so good. Like, being finally done with this process here, it feels like a big triumph. It's a serious milestone in your development. Okay, then iron plates. Luckily I have a few. No, I'm not going to take all of them. And get them up there to my little smelter if I didn't dismount it a while ago. I did dismount it, didn't I? Yeah, okay. We're going to rebuild that one. Where is it? There is chemical furnace. No, I need that metal. Is it a chemical furnace? I think it was a chemical furnace where you did the steel things. What's the difference? Okay. So yeah, there goes steel. So instead of burning that stuff, we're going to use it for a moment, and there we go. It's something I like to use, especially here on Seablock, to have those little semi-automatic productions here, where I just do something like that. Because I just want to produce a little bit of steel on the side. And the oxygen gas I have here, it's a waste product. I don't use it anyways. I would burn it. So perfect for me. Okay. But I'll just have to sit there and wait for the steel, I just noticed. Because apart from building a few laboratories, I don't know what to do with myself right now. So if you're wondering, he's hungry. So we need steel gear wheels and steel plates. That means I'm going to need 2 full production cycles. Yeah. So 12 steel plates. Damn, it's a lot. So, well, I'll take the time and share my thoughts now with you. So, I noticed that this whole array here needs 20 electrolyzers right now, and I have here 80 electrolyzers. So that means I can change this whole production chain into sludgers, and I have 4 sludge production arrays in my mind. And I also noticed while I was checking out the series beforehand, when I used my little MaxRateCalculator tool for this array, something struck my mind here. So as I looked it up, I'm having a slight overproduction of mineral sludge, still a slight overproduction of slag slurry, and well, the charcoal overproduction, that's something I took care of. But what I wanted to emphasize here is there is a little bit of a overspill. This overspill is not enough to power a full array, but I figured if I can organize this stuff here correctly, I should be able to pump the excess stuffs into tanks, and probably increase my my total output, like as if I had a sixth array or such. I don't know, something like that. In hindsight, I felt like I did a lot of unnecessary work here. I just could have branched off one of these production chains here and achieved the same, but now it's like it is. This is the prototype array, and we're going to serialize that in the next episodes. So that translates roughly to more out of the little bag, in case you're wondering. German lessons what I can. So, there goes my first lab. Look at it. It's the first green lab. It's there. So, first thing I need to try out is, do the red packs go into that too? Oh, God. Okay, so I can just replace those big boys here. Okay, awesome. So that means I don't need to produce that many more. I just need to find some little niche to do what I have in mind. So the whole laboratory area is all crammed up, and we're going to do something here. Since I have to wait for the steel anyways, I'll just change it up a little. I'll just reroute it a little bit more into a more spacious area, where I can just dump in the handcrafted green science packs into a chest which distributes them into the rest of the system. If it doesn't make sense yet, it'll make sense in a second. So, there it goes. This is just going to be the place where I drop the green science packs, and I'm going to. This was Shift N. If you go for Shift N in the C block, you can change where the inserters drop the stuff. It's a very, very useful thing because of the tight and packed nature of the mod pack. Okay. I feel like the science here is all crowded up and it doesn't have room to roam free, so we're going to change that. Gotta be careful though, I'm pretty soon out of underground belts. And I have to take... I need to take a little bit more preparations before I can mass produce this stuff again. Okay, but that's that. Very simple things. We're just going to have a little bit of a more sophisticated laboratory area here. That's all I had in mind. So, advanced lab construction core. I need one more of those. So, how's that going? Well, it doesn't get along quickly, but at least it does get along. So, I feel like I'm just going to drop down the rad labs in the time being. I'm going to make it like that, with a hand down of science packs like this. This way I'll make sure that there's always there will be always the maximum amount of science packs be used as soon as I have turned them all into grains, that is. So what's wrong? Why is that not working anymore? Because I don't have enough tin wire, huh? Yeah, it's just my my copper production which doesn't get along. That's all. Not copper production, tin. I just don't produce enough tin, don't I? Or no, wait a sec. What happened here? They're out of purified water. That's what's happening here. And so because I'm tired of having this kind of trouble the whole time, I've decided to go for a little thing I got a little recommendation for a few episodes ago. There's a way easier way of producing purified water, but I wasn't able to go for it because I didn't have the electronic circuits beforehand to produce the hydro plants, but now I have, so let's loot those electronic circuits and conquer the world with them. Well, or something like that. We'll start with a hydro plant, because with a hydro plant I can produce purified water a lot easier than I do right now. This was just a nice way to kickstart the production there by using the waste byproducts of what I have, but the water purification recipe here, which just needs plain water and outputs you purified and saline water. You just need to clarify away the saline water. Boom. Problem solved. So much easier than the other way around. It's entirely true. But I didn't realize how important the, or how valuable the electronic circuits are that you're getting when you start out with the SeaBlock mod. I really went very, very careless into that, and I don't regret a single thing about that. It's how it was the most fun. But in hindsight, you're always smarter, so it's definitely something I would do differently if I would do it again. Right. So there it goes, and I'm just going to clarify that stuff away. I think, no, I can't connect different fluids to each other. Fluid mixing is not allowed, so I'm going to build a known clarifier. It's okay to have a known clarifier. It's a little bit of an overkill, but you know my motto, there's no kill like an overkill, so that's that, and we're going to have no more problems with purified water, and this production should be up and running again in no time. Also, I'm now able to, well, I could get rid of that clarifier altogether, because I will be purifying that sulfuric wastewater pretty soon as well to recycle the sulfur out of that. Okay, of course that slowed down my my progress a lot, because we didn't get any tin whatsoever, but that's okay. With process chains getting that big, it's just a matter of time until you get some bogus. So how about doing it a little bit differently here? I feel like it would be way smarter to modernize them into this going from left to right. So I'm even able to start a little bit of a research here. Well, not too much. I have to handcraft all the green science packs, but I was wondering if there's anything I really want to have. Washing for geodes. Oh man, you can do so many crazy things in this mod. I love it. I don't know why I should want geodes, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be cool. So it's a lot of things that I don't have use for yet. Heat pipes. Yeah. I'd advanced ore refining, though, there are some more interesting things, but it all turns down to me needing finally to produce clay bricks, because I noticed that they are quite present everywhere. So, well, desert farming. There's really no real good reason right now to grab anything from these. I mean, this tech needs a stupid amount of research packs. Oh, there's the geode processing crystal dust. So you gain crystal dust out of geodes. Sulfur processing too. Is that something I'd want to have? So we're having here hydrofluoric acid, fluoride ore. Nah. It's or wait a sec. Lime. But I think I should have other ways of producing lime. These smelting technologies I'm really not needing at all. Like, the military technology seems to be the only one that I could possibly facilitate in a proper way, or the gun turrets. Wow. It feels so disappointing. Gas and oil extraction, yeah, whatever. So it turns out that all this struggle was not as important as it looked like. For the time being, that is. It's just that I have a lot of things on my plate I can do before getting into the green technology era. Okay, so turns out now everything's running again, and they're needing those damn tin wires. So I really don't know what to do about this. It seems to me like I would be, how about that? I'm going to give this little thing here a special connection. We're going to make it like that. Okay. So that'll help. I'm pretty sure this will help. Because the main problem here is just a very, very low throughput of tin plates on the copper wire factory. But this way, I have one smelter getting the tin towards the solder, and one smelter getting the tin towards the cables. I think this will solve the problem. Yeah, nice. Okay. Didn't come up with that solution the last time, but okay. Good. There go solutions, and I'm going to be a delivery boy here. Because I really need that stuff right now. And I even cut the connection here for a second. I have enough green circuits. I need other stuff way more desperately right now. So there we go. I just want to have the laboratories up and running. I mean, even if I don't need the technology right now too desperate, it's just nice to have these preparations already down, you know. So I'll need a few more of those. All right. Let's check it out. So the next steps will be the large-scale sulfur production to get the ore up and running. Oh, there's a smelter in need. That's one thing. And the other thing will be to modernize my whole smelting process overall. I looked up into the casting processes with molten ores, and they are, like, if I understood it correctly, 33% more effective than the stuff I'm doing right now, and that's something I felt like, yeah, count me in. I want to have that, because it's pretty cool if you are having a more efficient metal production. And while I didn't feel like it would be worth it for the way I'm producing metal right now, for the stuff we're ahead next, it's definitely worth it. I mean, the good thing is I don't need to change up the electrolyzers at all. I just need to connect the output of the double columns in a way that they're going to feed the the crystallizers and the liquefiers. Yeah, that's right, there's liquefiers involved. And this will end up in a completely different setup, of course. So, but it's going to be quite exciting. So this is pretty much the end of this episode, so I'm going to talk a few more moments about what I have in mind for the next episode. So we're going to set up chains with molten copper. So you produce molten copper out of ingots, and how are these ingots made again? The ingots are made out of ore, and it's a 1-to-1 process. So you make the ingots first, then you smelt down the ingots again, and the molten ingots can get cast back into copper plates. And if we look at here, we're getting 3 plates out of 4 copper ore, and here we're getting 4 plates out of 4 copper ore, because you make 10 molten copper per ore. So it's a little bit of a back and forth play, but it has 2 big upsides. It has less waste products, because the process I'm making metals now, like with the mineral sludge, we don't have any waste products. We only have a waste product in form of sulfur. So this is a way cleaner and less messy ore production, and that's where we're headed. So that's the end of this episode. Feel free to drop me a comment down below. Always love to hear from you, as you know. And apart from that, the usual, this video needs likes to be popular, my channel needs subscriptions to grow, and I will be very, very grateful if you do so. See you guys next time. Bye bye.